Might as well go live. Might as well go live. What we doing? Let me make this bigger. I guess that's as big as it's gonna get. All right. What's up, my boy? Adrian Mattel Guns. What up, my boy? What's up? What's up? Hope y'all hear me. Damn, it's way too late for this shit. Yo, y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? Make sure y'all hear me. It should be. I think y'all should be hearing me. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, y'all should be hearing me. I can hear you just fine. Okay, good. All right. It's way too late. I'm gonna try to do an hour. I messed around. I was on Ghost Dogs live just recently, and I messed around. The whole live he was talking, I was drinking a cappuccino. I don't know why. I don't know why. It was the most dumbest thing I could the whole live I was drinking cappuccino. So I'm like wide awake. So I'm like wide awake. All right. What's up, Art Hillary? I'm wide awake because the whole time he was talking, I want to say the last 30 minutes he was talking, I was drinking a cappuccino. So I'm like fired up. What's up, Gun Nerd MC? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gun Nerd MC. That was the one. I thought someone else said they could hear me. I appreciate you saying you can hear me, my brother. All right. Before y'all go, make sure you like the video. I was drinking beer. I love it. Yes, I was drinking beer, man. I was drinking beer. I love it. All right. So, what my topic was, I did a survey from the last video, but not a lot of people have responded yet. But I got a lot of good answers. I do what's called an outlaw IDPA match on the first, the third, and the fifth Sundays of, I'm sorry, the first, the third, and the fifth Thursdays of the month. And for the fifth Thursdays, they want to do a match where it's concealed carry, where you can either draw from concealment, which you normally can't do. You could draw from off body, which is a bag, or you could draw from I think outside waistband, so like a outside holster, like I normally would. And I picked concealed draw. I wanted to draw from concealment because that's what I've been practicing. That's in case I'm out in Meyer and crazy, someone's acting crazy, someone's acting crazy at the Meyer. I'm gonna be from concealment. I'm not gonna be walking around with my rig on, with my core central competition belt on. I only walk around with that when I'm going or leaving a outdoor competition or the IDPA competition. What's up, everybody? What's up, STO Taco? What's up, my man? What up? What up? So they said they wanted last week when I was there. They said they want 4-inch barrels or lower, and they don't want you to have a race gun, and they don't want you to have a Stenton magazine. So that Stenton magazine that I used last time that is out the door. They don't want me to bring that, and they don't want me to bring a barrel that's over 4.5 inches. Now, they don't check anyone's pistols there. I haven't seen them ever. I've been there 4 times. They've never like pistol watch you. Like, let me see what kind of pistol you got. They've never done that. So I don't think they're going to do that here. But I have a decision to just sneak in that 17, that Glock 17 with that 4.5-inch barrel. Take us with the after party. Yes, Frank. What's up, Frank? Or should I do the Ruger exam and keep it, fair for everybody? Now I know already people are still when they said don't bring your race guns, bring something you could still carry and you carry every day. There was tons of guys that was looking at each other and smiled like I'm still gonna bring my staccato. You know what I'm saying? What if you carry a staccato every day? You know, you're gonna bring that. So my first thing was to bring my Glock 17 Gen 6. I've been competing with that every pretty much all this year since January 1st. I've been competing with it. I've been carrying it. I took it to every competition I've been in. I've competed with the Glock 17. But the Ruger exam, I did one competition this year with the Ruger exam, just one, and I didn't do so hot. I think I I didn't suck, but it wasn't as good as the 17. Then that's what, made me decide. I did a competition where I put in the Ruger exam and I put it up against the Glock 17 and I scored better with the Glock 17. So then after that, when it came for the next few months of that competition, I just used the Glock 17 instead of using two guns and kind of save some money. What's up, SDO? What's up, everybody? The after party. The after party. So I'm thinking now one person in my comments last time in the comments section said if it's a 4-inch barrel competition, then you should stick to what they said. Stick to what they said. They may disqualify you if you come with anything longer than 4 inches. But at this particular place, I think I will be safe. And I'm just saying that being that I've been there 4 times, they kinda know my name, everyone seems friendly, but what's up, CC Stinker? But I do want to not be DQ'd. I have personally seen, like, 3 videos this week of people getting disqualified in competitions. I'm glad you're chilling. I hope you're safe. Hope you're doing good, my man. So I'm thinking I don't wanna be disqualified, like I've seen so many videos of people being disqualified, and it's different things. Like I would think that people are getting disqualified for doing the same stuff, but this is different things they're getting disqualified for. I saw one guy get disqualified today because they called his name. He walked up to the table and he started to load his gun, and then the range officer was like, "Yo, yo, yo, unload your weapon, and then get out of here. You're disqualified because I didn't tell you to start." To load your weapon. I was like, "Yo, what the you disqualified him because you called his name, he walked up, loaded his pistol, and then you're like, 'Hey, I didn't tell you to load your pistol. You're disqualified. Get out of here.'" And they were serious. That was the end of the video. I was like, "God damn." I saw another video where he said he did a reload. He reloaded his a pistol and he accidentally pulled the trigger when he reloaded. He did a technical reload. So he still had one in the head and he popped one the mag in, and his hand was still on the trigger, and it did a negligent discharge, and they disqualified him. I was like, that's fair. And then I saw one that he flagged the RO, and then I said, okay, that's fair too. The one that's a 4-inch barrel is the Ruger XM. So it is a Glock clone. I know how you feel, Frank. I know how you feel about Glock clones, but I have over 3,000, maybe 4,000 rounds through it. It's never gave me a problem. I did change out the firing pin striker system, firing pin striker assembly. I did check that out. Seeing that that was like the most recommended thing in all the forums online that people were saying, hey, after 2,000, 5,000 rounds, you should change your fire striker on that Ruger XM. It's gonna break. Make sure you change that fire striker. Make sure you change that. I kept seeing that. So I just went ahead and being proactive after about 4,000 rounds. I changed it to a stainless steel uh fire pin striker assembly, and that's it. Everything else is still stock. But over 4,000 rounds, never gave me a light primer strike, never gave me any issues. It runs just fine. I have the full size frame on it right now, so it's set up like a 45. I know the last video I posted with the Ruger exam, it had the subcompact frame, but I switched that out, and I still have the enclosed dot on it. I have the black slide. I have the black full size frame, and I'm still gonna take 15 and 17 round magazines with me. All right, I'm curious to know what you are the do's and don'ts of competition shooting. You don't have to explain it all here, but it might be a good video concept. Okay, okay. Now, what do you want to know? All the competitions I do, and the rules and the do's and the don'ts, and not the pops. Don't tell nobody. Not the pops. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. I grew up on, Pops. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on the watching the Wayans brothers. It was a great show. But if I was to get a Glock clone, the RXM will probably be it. The RXM is good. I literally went in there and I researched and researched what should be my first pistol. And most of forums pointed me to the Glock 19. So I went in there, wanted the Glock 19. I saw it, the Ruger RXM was right next to it, and I was like, yo, what's the difference? And they hyped up the Ruger exam like it was still December of 2024. So when I went back January 1st of 2025, I was like, all right, I've done some research and it's still new. It was still within like 2 to 3 weeks new, but I'm like, Ruger has a good name, has a good reputation. They're an American company. I believe it has a lifetime warranty. Yes, it does have a lifetime warranty. I've called Ruger a few times. What did I call Ruger on? I'm trying to think. It was nothing malfunction, but I've called Ruger a few times. What did I call them on? Now I'm thinking. And they was cool with it. Okay, yes, it was the optic. So the optic is optic ready, but you had these little lugs so you could put the optic plate on or the optic on the RXM, and I lost one of those lugs. So I lost them and I ordered it online. I went to Ruger.com, whatever their website is. I went to their website and I order a lug. In the photo, it shows two lugs. So I order it for like whatever the price is, pay the shipping, pay the handling, all that. Got it in the mail, and there was only one lug in the package. I needed two. I lost both of them. So I called them up before I like place another order to order another one, pay shipping. I was like, hey man, can y'all just send me the extra lug? I thought it was two in the package, but there's only one when I open it up. The picture shows two, but it was only one in the package. And they was like, "Oh yeah, no problem. We'll send you an extra lug." And they sent me another lug. So Ruger was cool with doing that for me. And she kind of like hinted, if you ever have any problems with your Ruger exam in the future, and you could look in the manual. If you see it in the manual, a part in the manual, just call us. If any part in the manual needs to be replaced or serviced, just give us a call before you do it and we'll take care of you. And I kind of like read between the lines. I'm like, all right, so if any part in the manual needs replaced or service, I could just call you. And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. What's up, chat? What's up, Tech Money? Similar system to the Echelon. Yes, for from the Mountain. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I I was gonna get a clock clone. Okay, so yeah, I'm caught up. So yeah, I'm thinking that'll be the probably the so Ruger exam, they did good with that. And then December of Christmas last year, December 2025, that I saw a website, I'm not gonna say any names, that had a deal on the R exams. They were doing R exams for I think 200 jelly beans. So I picked up one just on the couch. I told the missus, like, hey, one of our oldest sons, he's 20, he's about to be 21, he's about to move out. I think we should get him a pistol so he can be protected when he's now moved out the house. And I bought him one. But then she said, well, we still got another son that's about to be 21. Maybe we should get him one too. So then I got another one. So I picked up them both at the place at the store, the FFL, got me two RXMs for 400, you know, and put them underneath the Christmas tree. The kids open it. I get them holsters. I got them hollow points. I got them EDC belts. So they all got set up and all that. Now they're still on iron sights. What's up, burner girl? What's up? What's up? Salute, salute to you. Now they're still on iron sights, but we do practice with my red dots, my green dots. But so far, right now, they have maybe 200 to 300 rounds through their own personal RXMs, and then I got my RXM. So they have their RXM, the boys, my older two boys, and then I have my RXM, and I trained a lot last year with RXM. I went to 3 different classes at my local ranges, and then I went to 1 or 2 private lessons with the RXM as well too, and I was good. I was the best. Anytime I went to a do a private lesson, they'll always hype me up like, "Damn, man, you're pretty good." And then anytime I went to one of the classes to do an intermediate class or a master class, then I would be top of the class, and people were like, "Man, you're pretty good." And I didn't know if they was just saying that because I was paying them or was I really good. So then that kind of got me into looking towards competitions because no one's gonna suck just so I could beat them. You know what I'm saying? No Diddy. So that's what one made me want to do competitions as well too, to make sure that I was really good, like people been hyping me up. Or was I just good for that day? You know what I'm saying? I remember I took one of my sons out, not the oldest, but the second to the oldest, out for his driver test. So both my sons, the older two, were on the same age. They was turning 18, and he said, "I think I'm ready," and I knew he wasn't ready. But I took him anyway. He barely passed, and the driving instructor said that day, like you was the only person I passed all day. Everyone else sucked compared to his driving. He said that to me. So he's like, I passed him today because everyone sucked compared to him, and I wanted to pass somebody. That doesn't give me confidence that y'all are passing people at the DMV, just because you don't want to fail everybody for the day. But I was happy that he got his license, but I was also scared that he got his license, if that makes sense. So same when it came to me shooting my RXM. I'm like, look, am I good because of the people I'm shooting with? Because my advanced class, there was a lawyer that he said he carries a 43X, and he was like, "Man, this thing is so snappy." And I was like, "Yeah, man, it's a 43X, duh." But he wanted a pistol that he could carry with him and no one would know while he's, practicing law. And then he said, not in the courtroom, but while he's in his office and all that, he wants to be able to have a pistol to carry in his blazer. And then there was a son and father duo, and they rented the Cicados. And at 3 yards, 5 yards, they was doing good. I was like, damn, man, they really getting it. But then of course, when we got to like 10, 15 yards, then then they started to show that they was just, the Cicados was really shooting for them. For the 3 to 5 yards. You know what I'm saying? Not them. Because when we got past 5 yards, they got that group started opening up. Yeah, don't pass me. Don't let me pass. I don't. Yeah, don't pass me because what's the the best of the fire, right? Exactly. Have you tried the CZPTNC yet? I have not, Frank. I've seen it at the display. Burner girl, what's up? What's up? Yes. Don't yeah. I've seen it in the display, but I have not tested. I have not test it out at my range. I should see if it's available to rent because every now and then my range will get some crazy stuff that even the employees don't know. Like when I tried that Kimber 2K11, most of the employees didn't even know that the Kimber 2K11 was in the display for rent. And it was like, damn, when did we get this? And I was like, yo, man, let me rent that. And then they was like trying to dry fire and everything. I was like, yo, are you gonna let me rent it or not? Like, I get that y'all work here and you're all slobbering over it, but let me rent this and then you can slobber it over. But yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to get that CZPT P10C. That's a long one because I like the CD Shadow 2 as a race gun. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try it out. Oh, we get into a part two. Yo, man, I wish I could do a part two and do like invite. I did not do a stream yard. I need to do a stream yard. That probably would have been a lot better. But I figured I'll just go live. I'll just go live when you're doing your podcast. Goes, I was drinking cappuccino for like the last 30 minutes. Even before I got on, I was just listening to what y'all was talking about. I was drinking cappuccino. So now I'm like wide awake. Good evening, everybody. So I'm wide awake, unfortunately. STO, what's up, everybody? Right. He's I'm the best of the worst. I love it. Now, Art of Hillary. I wanted to know with the competitions. Did you want to know with the competitions, the do's and the don'ts of the indoor IDPA match that I do, or all the competitions? Because that's the thing with me. I try to do as many competitions as I can. Last year, I focused on training. So I try to train, I try to go to the range. I was working on build drills, I was working on the Mozambique drill, I was working on double taps, I was working on everything. So I did a lot of training that I asked AI and that I asked regular people. I'll go on YouTube and say what are good self-defense drills you should do. And I was more of a self-defense shooter last year. I worked mostly on 5 to 7 yards, and that was it. From January until October, all I did was 5 to 7 yards, just bam, bam, bam. Now, at the range I go to, if you have a RO in there and he's training you, you could go to 3 yards. Sometimes they'll tell you go to 3 yards to start, just so they can see, what level of shooter you are before they get you out there. So 5 to 7 yards is all I did. And people come over like, I would shoot with my brother-in-law, I would shoot with friends and family, and they're like, let's go further, let's go further. I'm like, no, you can't shoot further. All right. And we got to talk like I don't want to be that person, but make sure you know how to shoot before you take your target out. And I was trying to explain that to my brother-in-law. I love him, but he was like, "Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to 25 yards." And I'm like, "Bro, we are," and I said we are barely getting the target at 15 yards. So no, let's not go past 15 yards. Let's stay at 10. Let's bring it up. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel good as well when I'm leaving the range. I want to feel like I accomplished something. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel good. Feel like that was a good training section. So normally what you'll catch me doing at the end of the range, I'll fill up my 22 LR, either the Glock 44 or the TX 22, and then I'll just reload. I'll just mag dump like 10, at least 20 to 30 rounds. I'll just mag dump with the 22 LR at the end of a range day. That's where you'll catch my target. I'll do either all nut shots or all center mag shots, just magged up between 2 LR. And then that's how I'll finish. It makes me feel good. If anyone was to sneak up on me while I got my 22 LR, your nuts are gone. What's up, Bunner Girl? Yeah, your nuts are done with. I'm shooting straight nuts with a 22 LR. I'm not doing headshots so you can move and bob your head around. I'm not doing body shots so you could like puff your chest out and say, ha ha ha, it's just a 22 LR. I'm taking your nuts out. I'm doing all nut shots. I'm unloading my clip straight to your nuts with a 22 LR. So you don't got to worry about you know, like, hey, is it gonna go through the skull? Is it gonna go through bone? Who cares? It's going all straight to your nuts with my 22 LR. Don't catch me in the woods. Don't catch me wherever. Now, I normally don't carry. Now, the first part of last year, I carried a 22 LR as a backup. As a backup, if you saw me hiking or you saw me in a cave, wherever, I would always have my Ruger XM, and that was my everyday carry. And then I would have a 22 LR, which was the TX22. But dude, I had no problem just shooting up nuts. You sound like my coworker. Only difference, he said he is doing that with the 45. Man, see, 45, I don't know, man. I think that's just too much playing around. I got a 22 Chris Vector for the nutsack gun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it, Joker's guns. Shout out to you, man. See, just last week I did a dynamic pistol class because I'm still trying to train. So every month that my club that I have in Indiana has a dynamic pistol class, and I went and someone, the vice president of the class, had a Glock 20, which is a 10 millimeter. He loaded up with 5 rounds. He was like, "Go ahead, Tech, shoot it." And I looked it downrange. He had iron sights on it with suppressor height sights. I went bam, bam, bam. I looked at him. I was like, all right. I shot it 2 more times. Bop, bop. I looked at him again. I put it down. I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. The hits were on target. I was about good 15 yards away. And the target, he had these little small ass targets like this, and they all hit the target. But I was like, I don't like that. And he loaded 5 more rounds and he's like, shoot 5 more. And I was like, nope, that's it. Uh, Tech would just be known for shooting a 10 millimeter 5 times, sir. And he was like, shoot 5 more. I'm like, no, Mr. Perry, my brother, I'm not shooting your Glock 20 anymore. I don't like it. All right. It felt like shooting a Glock 43X, but a bigger frame. Now, I have small hands. This is cappuccino container. It felt like holding it when I held that Glock 20. It was like this. I was holding it like this. I felt like I was holding a cappuccino container and not a pistol. So I think it's just too much playing around. You need to be either have giant hands or be that guy to shoot a 10 mil or a 45 because that frame was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was too much to get my hands on. Pause. All right, you are legit the only person on YouTube I see training for nut shots. Why? Okay, now there is another YouTuber. He's called, I think, Short Shot Tony or Short Shot Tony. And he also trained for nut shots. And I liked those comic relief videos that I'll watch with him shooting people or his targets in the nuts. But when I went to the range, there's a little sign that says, don't shoot, over this line, shoot your target underneath this line. And me being who I am, I thought it was funny to turn the target upside down and just shoot the nuts. So when I go to the range, here I'll get a target. When I go to the range, you'll see something like this. But when I put this up on the, the little board, the post is right here that says please shoot underneath this. And I'm like, you know what? Let's flip it. Let's flip it. All right. And I'm gonna shoot right here and then right here. So I'm flipping it. So when I'm at the range, majority of the time I flip the target upside down. So I'm shooting center mass and nut shots. Now you may think that's crazy, right? But I did a competition. That fourth competition I just post. No, it had to be the third competition. It was the third IDPA match that I post. There were two targets. I'm sorry. It was the fourth. It was the last IDPA match. All right. The one with the still targets in the background. They had the still targets. The still targets in the IDPA match is maybe, I want to say, 3 feet tall max, and they had them in the background in front of some paper targets that you wasn't supposed to shoot. So the paper targets were non-threats, but you had to shoot the still targets in front of them, and in front of them was only 3 foot of steel. So technically you were shooting their nuts. So I looked towards my man that was standing next to me, and I was like, these are nut shots. This is what I've been training for. And he looked at me and was like, what the hell does that mean? And I was like, you're gonna see. And I scored 14 out of 36 that night, out of everybody, because I was like, this is what I've been training for. He laughed. This is this. I've been training exactly for this moment. 10 mil with making peanut butter. No, we're not doing a 10 millimeter. No, sir. 10 millimeter. I wanted to do, after I shot the Glock 23, it was my friend's Glock 23, his 40 cal. It was only iron sights. I did that to do a bowling pin match. And that was fun, but I didn't do too good. Like when the results came out, I was literally in the middle of the pack. I was like it was like 15 out of 30 people that was in the what they called heavy metal match. And I felt bad. I was like, I know it was my first time shooting anything over a 9 millimeter, but I was like, damn, man, I'm never gonna do that again. I want something bigger than just a 40 cal. That 40 cal felt just like a 9 mil. So I was like, I think I need something bigger. I think I need a 45. But then after shooting a 10 millimeter the following week, I was like, nah, y'all can have that. I'm never gonna shoot heavy metal again. You'll never see Tech shooting heavy metal again. He gonna stick with his 9 millimeters and his 22. He ain't gonna do nut shots. I've been waiting my whole life for this. Exactly. That's what I said to him. He was like, what? I was like, man, we're doing nut shots on this stage. I've been waiting my whole life for this. And he was like, okay. And I ran through that stage. I think I want to, what stage was that? Because I was in squad 3. So we started on stage 5 through 6 in the video. But I think that stage is 1 through 2. So I think in the video you will I don't know. It's weird because when you squad up, you have 3 different squads: squad 1, squad 2, squad 3. I personally pick squad 3 because I know more people in that squad. So when I get there, we start at the 5th and 6th stage of the day is what my squad starts on. Squad 1 starts on the 1st and 2nd stage of the day. Squad 2 starts at the 3rd and 4th stage of the day. My squad starts on the 5th and 6th stage of the day. So the ending of the video is really my cold start of the day. So you may watch my videos and be like, damn, you did better at the beginning of the video than you did at the end of the video, is because because my stage 5 and 6 of my videos are my beginning stages of the day. And the video and the stages you see first, second, third, or fourth is my last stages of the night, if that makes sense. So me picking squad 3 kind of mixes me up where, when I chop on my videos, I have to say, okay, well, this stage should go here, this stage should go here, this stage should go here. Even when I score them, I'm like, okay, I scored good on my first stage, but what stage was that? Was that 5? Was that stage 1? And then I have to like go back and like look at my videos and say, okay, that's stage 1, that's stage 2, that's stage 3. And it takes a little work, but we get it done. That's why it takes a little bit longer than just, that night when I do it. So this Thursday, I'm the 30th, I believe, I'm doing indoor IDPA match, and I won't post that until sometime next week because even after I have all the pieces, then I have to go over the timestamps and then I have to edit. Then you know what I'm saying? Then I have, yeah, 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 yeah. But we'll get it. I'll get it to you. It may, I'll get it sooner. I'll try to get them sooner than later. Let's just say that. But I got that art of Hillary. You want to know my experience in general from all my competition experience. And that's why I asked, because when I'm in a NAGA chapter, and the NAGA is the National African American Gun Association, and I'm in a chapter. I'm actually about to get a position. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to give it away, but I'm about to get a position in the group, and I'll be doing more with the group. But with that group, they have some great shooters already. And I was, asking every time that we do a meeting, a club meeting, and we talk about competitions or talk about what we're doing next or what we're up to, people look at me and they're like, well, what are you up to? What competition did you just come from? What competition are you going to next? And I gotta laugh, but I also gotta tell them, like, yo, I just been to Ohio, or I just been in Michigan, or I'm about to go to this competition because it's exciting to me this year that I'm trying to do more competitions. Last year was all about training and learning. Every day I woke up and I watched a video about educational 2A content, and then I went to sleep every day watching some kind of educational 2A content, how to hoster, how to what hosters to buy, what I'm saying, how to do a dry fire routine, just some kind of videos I watch every morning and then every night before I go to bed. I've been doing that for over a year. So I try to do that. That's how I know, or I'm in a lot of comments when you go to 2A channels. You may have a million subscribers. You may see me in someone comment section that has 10 subscribers. And I'm in their comment sections just because I'm trying to see as much, 2A content as I can to absorb what I need to know and what I don't need to know. So I'm still trying to train. So I'm training last year, learning last year. This year is competition. I'm trying to get as much experience as I can. Excuse me. Just trying to get as much experience as I can this year. And that's it. Just as much experience. So dynamic pistol class, I'm taking it every month. I'm doing bowling every month. I'm doing the outlaw match. I do that twice a month. And then I do the Glock Sports Shooting Foundation. I do that every month. What else? What else do I do? I think that's it for right now. Glock Sports Shooting Foundation and NAGA. I gotta call them. They have not gave me an answer, but I've called NAGA to see they're supposed to have a shooting league starting this year. So I want to know when that starts. And then I'm gonna join that because they're saying that they're gonna have a shooting league in your area. And then they're also gonna have a competition where they're gonna fly out the top performers to do a shoot off. And I'm like, yo, man, if I could become one of those top performers in Indiana and get flown out somewhere to do a shoot off, Other than that just being content, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna do my best. Let's just say that. I'm gonna do my best to try to, you know, get number one. King Tech wins, baby. It's gonna be King Tech wins when it comes to the competitions, but I'm gonna have to call them. I haven't got any answer. It just keeps saying coming soon, and it's been saying that since October on their website. Coming soon is gonna be the NAGA shooting competition. So I'm hoping that they open up the competition and I could join that league, and that'll just be something to put on the list. So the outlaw matches, bowling match, Friday night steel. I've been having a few people hook me up to go out to do Friday night still with them. So I'm gonna have to eventually do that in May next month. I'm gonna have to do Friday night still. I've had too many people. I think four four people have asked me if I'm gonna come out and do Friday night still challenge with them. So eventually I'm gonna have to go out there and do that, shoot some still with them on a Friday night. So I'm gonna do that in May. And yeah, just continue what I'm doing. Dynamic pistol class. It's amazing because it's an outdoor range. So I get to draw from concealment. And also we do rifle training. I don't have a rifle, but I normally borrow someone's rifle. And that's always a good learning experience for me. Getting more time behind a rifle just so I can know the do's, the don'ts, what I like, what I don't like for a few hours before I make my rifle purchase. Before I make the purchase of getting a rifle. So that's fun. And that's it. That's it. Bowling, GSSF, outlaw match, Friday night steel. It's a lot of competition. And I'm doing indoor Glock Sports Shooting Foundation. A rifle, that is a rifle. When you gonna get a rifle? I know, man. I still don't know. I won't. I'm leaning towards getting a PCC, knowing that I have the bullets for it, and it seems easier with a PCC, and less cost wise when it comes to ammunition with the PCC, or a 22 LR and just cheat and just get a 22 LR, because you know what I'm saying, with a 22 LR I probably won't need a can, and it won't have the recoil where I could just really go to town with that. I'm thinking about getting like the best 22 LR rifle there is. Yeah, if you're not doing a rush, just build one. I don't know. I'm thinking about for my first time buying one, and then for my second one building one. But I am in no rush. I'm in no rush at all. At first, I was, because when I went to the dynamic pistol class, it seemed like everybody had a rifle, and I was the only one that didn't have a rifle. But two guys had a extra one, so I was able to borrow and like pick which one to borrow. That was cool. And then last month, same. They was like, "Do you have a rifle?" And I was like, "I don't have a rifle." And I was able to borrow and pick between two different ones. So I'm happy that I have friends in my group, in my community, that I could borrow their rifle. But I know, of course, they're either going to get to a point where they're like, yo, man, get your own. Or I'm going to get to a point where I'm getting like, tired of begging for for hand me outs. Now I do use my own ammo when I use their rifles. The first time it was a PCC. Last month he didn't have PCC. He was using reloads, and then I did ask him like, "Hey, do I owe you anything for using your ammunition?" And he was like, "No, you're good, man. Don't worry about it." I was like, "Okay, cool." You know what I'm saying? Cool. I'll save my money. But I'm thinking either PCC like a Kuna or something like that, or just going 22 LR. I saw a competition. I didn't enter it, but since I'm doing stuff for my chapter when it comes to events and planning, I saw that next month there's a competition, and they're asking to bring only a 22 LR rifle for the competition. And I was like, "Oh man, that would be so much fun to go to a competition with a 22 LR rifle." And then that light bulb went off. Like, what if I go to also my dynamic pistol class with a 22 LR? And that's why, like, I wasn't in a rush of buying a rifle right now because I live in a small house. I live in the yards that we have towards the neighbor's house is very small as well too. And I'm pretty sure I'm like the only person. I'm not gonna say I'm pretty sure, but I'm one of the only people in my neighborhood that you know could still carry, that has a pistol, that will have a rifle. I don't go in people's houses or nothing like that, but it's a very like old money type of community where they'll call the cops or security before they do something. Type of stuff. I had a neighbor, I think 5 years, 6 years back, that their alarm was just going off. It was just like like it was just going off. And they knocked on my door and I opened the door like, "Hey, can I help you?" And she had to be in her 80s, 90s, very, very older woman. And she said, "My alarm is going off and I just don't know what to do." And I was like, "Okay, well, calm down." Now I didn't know her, she didn't know me, but I used to work for an alarm company for several years, and my wife works for an alarm company. So I'm like, yo, I know exactly what to do. So I went over there, I disarmed her alarm, got it to, stop going off. And at the end of it, she's like, "I'm so happy that I got you and you was home to help me with this problem. And you're the president of the HOA. So I felt good, contacting you." And I looked at her and I like looked around her house and I'm like, "Lady, I am so sorry, but I am not the president of the HOA. I'm not a part of the HOA. I don't know where you got that that from. I don't know why you thought I had anything to do with HOA. I am also happy that you knocked on my door and was safe to let me in your house to disarm your alarm system for you while you had your daughter on the phone. But ma'am, I have nothing to do with HOA and I've never met you. You never met me. I'm a complete stranger in your house." But then after that, I left and never came back again. There was another neighbor. I was just doing a walk, walking around one of the lakes in our neighborhood, and I heard a little yelling coming from a bush. And I went over there, and there was a woman stuck in the bush. She was literally yelling and stuck in the bushes. She said she was gardening, she fell, and she left her phone inside. And she was just been screaming for about 10, 20 minutes to whoever could help her. And just luckily, I was taking a walk that day and I passed by her house to hear her scream, yell, and you know what I'm saying? So this is that type of neighbors I have to give you a to give you a sneak preview of what kind of neighbors I have. So they're just very calm, collective, cool neighbors, stick to themselves, pay people to do their gardening, pay people to do their housekeeping type of stuff. All right, I'll hit you up. All right, man, take it easy. I'm about to get out here in a little bit anyway. I got like 2 more minutes and then I'm gonna get out of here. So thank you, thank you. Got to get rid of my Gen 6 for Sig 365. That's crazy, Alexander. What Gen 6 do you got? Which one? Now, my brother-in-law, he has a Sig 365, that Flux had the 19. Okay, okay. And he loves it. He went from a Gen 5 40 Glock 45 that he carried every day, and now he carries that Sig 365 Flux. I was like, all right, man, go on with your bad self. He got the holster for it and everything. I kept my 43X. Okay. See, I don't have the 43X. I I I have not. I've shot the 43X. I did not like it, but it was one of my first Glocks that I ever shot. So I think maybe that was more me, like I was holding it wrong. I wasn't, I wasn't anticipating the recoil. I would, just a lot of bad stuff happened when I shot the 43X for the first time. So I think I just need to get back to it. I have shot the 43 in competition this year. I shot it January, February, and March, and I won perfect score all 3 months shooting the 43. Now, in competition that I do, the only pocket pistols that qualifies is the 43 and the 42. So I've shot the 43, and then last in this month in April, I shot the 42. I did not get perfect. I got more center mass shots, more exits, but I got a 248 out of 250. A perfect score is 250. I got a 248. Just one bullet was like a half an inch from the circle, and I would have got a perfect score. But shout out to you. He say I'm gonna get a SIG 365. You just want all small guns. Alexander just want all small guns. It's like the smaller the better. Nah, man. I feel comfortable. I've seen a lot of videos. It's like carry the biggest gun that you feel comfortable with. Nah, Ramjet macro grip. Okay, it's coming. Okay, okay, okay. I like it. I like it. And I have seen videos of people saying that they carry the Glock 17. And I've asked police officers in my area what they carry. And they either carried the 17 or the 47. So I was like, you know what? I think I want to carry the Glock 17. So that literally was one of my deciding factors when I wanted the Glock 17. Last year, I was like, you know what? I want a competition MOS Glock. I want a Glock that I can shoot MOS in competitions. And I rented a 47 and I was like, that's it. I want a 47. I went to Miles J95. He was doing a live stream. I went to a live stream. I was like, I just came back from the range testing the 47. I'm about to get it, man. It's a banger. And people in his comments like, yo, man, you may want to wait because Glock has some stuff coming out later on this month. Just wait to get the 47. Just wait a month. Wait until SHOT Show to get the 47. And I was like, okay, okay, I can read between the lines. Maybe y'all work for Glock, maybe y'all don't. I've but I'll wait. I'll wait. If it's just a month, let me just wait a month. And then January 1st, went into my range, saw they had the Glock 17 Gen 6, bought it, and I've been training with it. I love it. It's amazing. I love it. I have it right in front of me. I just can't show it because we live, but I love the Glock 17. Now I have not tried a SIG. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not shot a SIG ever. When I just got into pistols January 1st, 2025. And I've not shot a SIG because out of all the stuff that happened last year, that's what I got into. Now I know SIG has been around more than just 2025. They have contracts and all that good stuff. What's up, Christopher? I know Stig is a reputable company, but when I got into the 2A community, it was last year after all the SIG problems. So I haven't personally shot a SIG. I would carry it in a winter Gen 6, but when it's warm, it's too big. 5'11, between 5'11 and 6 foot, 170, and I got about 10 round magazine. Okay, band in Jersey. Okay. So you're in Jersey and it's a big gun. I could see that. I could definitely see that. I didn't think about that because you're limited anyway. So you know what I'm saying? Like once you're limited, if you're limited already, you might as well carry a small pistol because me, I carry the big Glock 17 Gen 6, and I normally have I think I carry about 17 rounds in the first mag, and in my backup mag, I carry about 15 rounds. So in even given time, I have 32 rounds ready to go, or the reverse. Maybe I carry the 15 round. He said, I wish. I think I'm always have the 15 round magazine with one in the head ready to go. And then my backup is a 17 round mag with hollow points. So I'll always, no matter where I'm at, have 32 rounds. And then I'm going hiking or out of town. That's when I'll get my backup pistol. And then that will have about 9 rounds because it's a Taurus GX4. So I could put 13 rounds into it, but I think I put normally 10 or so just because of the spring retention and magazine. And I don't want to do too much. Thank you. Subscribe and hit the like. Thank you, Christopher. So I just normally had 10 rounds of my backup pistol, but then that's 43 rounds with 42 rounds with me always carrying 32 rounds and having a backup pistol with 10 rounds. Then right there, that'll put me up to 42. Oh my God. I'm getting notifications saying that my computer's about to shut down and my phone's about to shut down. So unfortunately, I carry two extra mags. So unfortunately, it's about to shut down. The live is about to shut down. I think I'm on 1%, 2%. I'm still at 2%. I'm on 2% on the computer that's going to shut down. Uh, I, I tried last year. I tried to carry an extra mag and it wasn't comfortable. So I was just mostly carrying one magazine with my first year. This year, I told myself, get a better holster and carry an extra mag. And I've been doing it. I've been good on carrying an extra mag every day this year. So maybe in 2026, I'll be just like Christopher and then I'll have two extra mags. But I had to, work up to it. Last year, it was just carrying a pistol for the first time every day ever. And then, good night, burner girl. Good night, everybody. Before it cuts off. So yeah, last year was just me getting used to carrying a pistol every day. That was different. And then this year is me carrying an extra mag with that pistol and competing with it. So I'm still in my learning phase. I just started competitions in October of 2025. I just started carrying a pistol, period. Got my first pistol January 2025. That's the first time I got my pistol and when I started shooting. And I didn't do my first competition until October 2025. So I'm still in the learning phase. And I'm still willing to learn more and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with learning more. I'm cool with, I'm very humble. I want to be the best. That's why, of course, I name myself King Tech Wins. I have won a few competitions so far this year, but I want to win more. I want to win as much competitions as I can win. And if I'm going to be in the 2A space for 20 years, I want to win, more than 20 competitions and you can too. All right. If I could do it, you could do it. It just takes training and dedication and of course MO. Dry fire helps. I dry fire every day, but of course, dry fire, live fire, learning your laws, all that good jazz. Pistol grip, it all plays but thank y'all so much. All right, brother. Keep it up. I've been shooting since 9. Into the competition. Yet I'm gonna hit the sack. All right, good night. Good night. Good night, Alexander. I wish, man. I'm trying to get my youngest son, 7. I'm trying to get him to doing competition and learning safety before he get into competition. So my 7-year-old, he's learning about pistols, and then my 16-year-old, he's gonna be doing competition starting next month. So we'll be a competing family. My wife already does competition. She already won her first match or her first tournament. And then my son, he'll be doing competitions. Hi, Alexander. Yes. All right, man. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Thank you. Please check out the live. If you missed it, don't worry. You can go back and replay it. Take care of yourselves. My little brother's 5, and I've been teaching him safety in pre-K. I love it. I love it. You're doing good, man. You're a good big brother, Alexander. And I can only wish I did the same for my brother. But me and my brother, we definitely gonna have a range day. I tried to set one up last time I was in my hometown, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. All right. I love y'all. Take it easy. Be safe. Be careful out there. Until next time. Peace.